23 years of using out there, with my mother, putting her through so much trouble and turmoil and fear and everything, and then she still wants to have something to do with me today, right? And the reason for that is because I live these amends. My children, they're still touched by that upbringing, still to this day, and it's 22 years later, and they
still angry, or what do you mean?
Well, they're still touched by it, man. Their decision-making process is kind of skewed. The book talks about warped lives of blameless children, and they were blameless, man. I was crazy, and their mother wasn't much better, and it was just a complete turmoil, and their lives got warped, right? Thank God most of them are sober now. One of them's in prison, but she's sober. We're raising 2 grandchildren from that. So the amends from that, like I said, it's 22 years later, we're still living it. I thought that...
It's just not one thing you do and then you're like...
No, that's right. I thought that maybe someday my life will get to where that I don't have alcoholism and drug addiction won't touch my life anymore. I'll be free from it, and it's not true. I think it'll probably be the day I die, Not only because I sponsored work with a lot of guys and stuff, but my family's been touched by it from very, very early on. So, maybe the cycle one day will get broke. I pray that it does. But all I can do is just put one foot in front of the other and say, this is how I think you should live. And it's their choice to make that choice, And I hope they do, One of my stepkids grows pot in California. His sister's locked up in prison. My daughter works in the insurance business. My son works for me in a small company, and they've all had their shake at addiction, and some worse than others, but they're still alive. So the old timer told me, Travis, I said, how long do I keep trying to help these dadgum people? How long do I got to cope getting this drunk out of the dumpster, taking him to detox? He said, Clay, as long as they're breathing. As long as they're breathing. And I thought, crap, okay, here I go. Here I go, man. And some good success stories. Some of them have died. Some of them are sober. But the fact is that Jesus wouldn't dump me off the side either. So I gotta kind of do that, man.
What do you tell when somebody just says, "What's making amends?" What do you just say that it is? What would be an example of that you did that's or how that?
Well, of course, financial amends, of course, is part of the process. You have to; those are things you have to do. But also, these living amends that I have to live a life that I'm not taking no more. I'm not taking from my mother or my brothers or sisters or friends even. It's about that I'm living my life to give back. Not killing nobody, right? Not using, those kind of things are what I consider as amends. Do they always forgive me? We were talking about that. I don't know. I think there's still even all these years later, there's still a little underlying distrust that if my mother doesn't hear from me or see me or whatever for a week or something, hey son, what are you doing? Where you been? Are you okay? It's still that underlying thing, and that'll always be. She's 84, man, but she's a wonderful lady. I wouldn't be who I am, where I am today without her. I'd be dead for sure.
Without mommy and Jesus?
That's it, buddy. That's it. That's what you do. When all else failed, nobody will come get me out of jail. Nobody will talk to me. Call mama. And probably the greatest word she said to me was, son, you can't come here this time. And I was freaking floored, man. I thought, what am I gonna do? Man, I'm homeless. I have no place to go, and you can't come here. She said, you need to call AA. And I called AA and found a place to go, man. And I called her and I said, Mom, they said I could come there, but I really need a shower. I ain't had a shower in 3 days. She said, you can come here and take a shower, but then you gotta leave. I said, okay. So I went there and took a shower and put on my best shirt and my best Kmart boots and headed to the detox house, not knowing where I was gonna go. And ended up on the east side of Houston in a little old 24-hour club called 24 Hours, called the Detox House. And it was an old beat up building, old house, and smoky and old drunks in there, you know, and I thought, I don't know, this is for me or not, but I'm at the end, you know, I've got to do something. And that was the beginning, you know.
How did God meet you, or you meet God, or I think God's everywhere all the time, but you know what I mean?
I think at that point, some humility came in my life that I said, I've got to have some help, right? And so I walk into this place and I see these steps on the wall and it has God in there. Well, my reaction was, well, I was raised in the Baptist church. I got this. I just need a little bit of time, right? And so a year and a half I stayed sober on just that. I didn't have a sponsor. I just said, I got God. God's going to take care of me. Who's your sponsor, Clay? God's my sponsor. And I got drunk again. You know, I got drunk again. And I finally surrendered, man. I finally got what they were saying. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not, here's the word, Travis, completely give themselves to this simple program. And I think what Bill and Bob were talking about was completely give yourself to God. Completely. Because as long as you're on one side of the fence or the other, you got to give up, man. You got to surrender. And once I did that, you know, it kind of like started falling into place. And I asked for help. And I started listening to old timers telling me what to do and giving me suggestions on how to live. And AA taught me how to live, man. You know, they taught me everything. My sweet mama couldn't teach me nothing. As Christian as she was, and as much as she loved Jesus, I couldn't hear it from her. Right? I couldn't hear it. So making those amends to her is just, I go see her, you know, and I take her to dinner, and I take her to lunch, and I take her to plays, and if I can do anything for her, I'll do it, you know. My kids, I'll do whatever I can for them, you know. But it's not just family, you know, friendships and things that you grow up with throughout your life. Those are things I got to make up for.